Hello, everyone. I always forget to turn my fan off so that you guys won't have any feedback. Hello, 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 hello. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for joining Brunch with Diva. If it's Wednesday, you know that's what time it is. Hello, Michelle. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for my guest today. Well, I'm always excited for my guest, but I'm really excited for this guest because he's like been my friend in my head in my Wendy Williams voice. And I'm really excited to, get to know him a little bit better. I'm excited for you guys to get to know him a little better, those who don't already know him. So without further ado, you know what? I might have to be Beyonce today, y'all. It's really just hot. So I might just need to have a little bit of air. Oh, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Nikki. Hey, hey, Jill. Hey, thank you so much. So I don't want to take up too much of his time, because we want to sometimes, our conversations just go and go and go, and we just kind of run out of time. So I want to get everything in. So I'm going to bring him on now so we can go ahead and get this thing started. All right. All right. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Yes. Thanks so much for joining the conversation. And voila, he's here.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? Hey, Lizette. Thanks for joining.
Hi. I'm trying to make my lighting a little bit better. What's going
Well,
on?
and here I go. Like, let me adjust. Okay.
It's like I have a ring light too, so I'm not sure why. Oh,
Oh,
that's
wait.
better.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh my goodness. Look, I was dealing with mine a minute ago before I came on, trying to get it together.
Yes, and also I heard you. I need to be Beyonce as well. I'm hot. I'm
Right.
hot.
Well, I can't pick mine up, but let me just tell you,
Yeah,
you know,
I always have a fan on me. I'm sure there's like
I have to, and I'm just like, oh my God. Well, if I have to talk louder to override it, that's what I'm gonna do.
I love it.
Yay! Click, click,
Cheers.
click, click. Well, you guys, if you don't know, now you know. My guest today is Blake, Posh Boss.
Blake. If
I
I had
love
my
it. I wanted us to do it together.
Hello, everyone
But
tuning in. I don't.
Lisette says, you look so mysterious, Blake.
My lighting is a little weird today. I apologize, but you can see my face. That's the important stuff, right?
That's right. That's right. And that we can hear you.
Right. Okay, good.
That's good. So, of course, my question out the box is always, how'd you come up with your name?
So this is a great question. It's not anything crazy. When I first was reselling, I was reselling but didn't do social media for it. I was just like living my life and that was that. But then I was like, let me try to see what other people like does this exist on Instagram? And when I started to find people and like the niche community that is reselling,
Right.
I was like, oh, there's like a posh boss is like a cute little like, oh, are you a posh boss? Applicable to everyone. And so I was like, well, I'm Posh Boss Blake. And that just stuck. And then that's what I made everything, like all my accounts, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, TikTok. And so that's something that's
That's it.
stuck.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Because people ask me how I came up with my name. And of course, I'm like, well, my favorite color is pink. And, people used to call me Diva. I mean, well, there's no explanation there needed. So that's kind of how I came up with it. And I wanted to carry it on through, but for some reason, when I was on Instagram, I saw another pink diva. So I had to put the pink
Studio.
diva in front of it.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, maybe I should just change it across the board to the pink diva.
You know
Either
what?
way it works.
If you do, just plan accordingly and just make sure and give an advance notice to the people that already follow you. Because if they
I
try to
think I
follow you
only
one day, it's like, where'd she go?
where'd she go? Well, I think that I just have to change it on Poshmark and Macari because anything else I do is already on here.
Yeah.
So I think the platforms are probably what I would have to change it to.
Yep.
But one day I
Agreed.
have it. That's not at the top of my list at this point. So of course I know that I know a little backstory. I already know that that you are unemployed right now for a 9 to 5er,
Yep.
as far as 9 to 5 goes. And you tell us kind of. I know that you put your closet on vacation.
Yep.
So can you kind of let's kind of talk about that and just the general uh, reselling when you're kind of going through something like this.
Yeah. So for anyone who is not aware, and this is their first time meeting me, hello. I'm a part-time reseller. I don't want to be full-time. I've been very vocal about that throughout my entire time doing this. There was a period of time when I was unemployed that I was like, maybe I could try to do this full-time, but I'll actually save like that for a little bit later into the conversation. But ultimately, I have always been employed full-time, like a traditional 9 to 5 job. And here in LA, I live in West Hollywood. I had a great job working for a PR firm, and I was the office and culture manager. So my jobs have always been revolved around people. I'm sure this won't shock anyone, especially you, Rhonda. I'm a people person. Like, I thrive around people. I don't mind my alone time, but when I need it, which is not often. It's necessary, but it's not often. So with COVID, I did have to get furloughed. So the entire month of April, I was furloughed. And then the PPP loan came out, and my business was a small business. So my boss was able to bring me back for a few more months. But then there's no promise of going back into an office. And with what the business did, you can survive at home. You can actually function 100% at home. So there's no hindrance to not having the office. So they eliminated the position. Can't really be mad at that. And my boss and I had a great, great, great relationship. And we still talk to this day. And it's just, I understand the needs of the business change. They need to support the actual business and not the office where no one is.
Right.
So all that to say, reselling has always been my part-time gig, successful and thriving gig. But when you go on unemployment, you have to report your income. So you need to be smart about what you're doing. And, right now, like you had mentioned, I put my closet on vacation mode. All my apps, like all the platforms, Mercari, Curtsy, eBay, everything is inactive because if I start earning money, it takes away from my unemployment. And for those that are thinking like, oh my gosh, like, that's a good thing. It is, except as a full-time worker, I have a threshold of income. And if I start working like an hourly job for $11 an hour, that hurts me. And then it like kind of resets the unemployment. So if I then get let go with a low wage job, I get low wage unemployment.
Right.
So it's like a very mathematical adult issues that I'm dealing with, but taking it one step at a time, really relying on the community and meeting people. I had my live with Leslie last night, and
I know, it's fantastic.
Just connecting. And I can also talk forever. We could talk forever, so just feel free to call me off.
We had already said that we don't know how we're going to make it through this because we're just going to be talking over each other. But I think that you really have to be careful when you're drawing unemployment or any other, government related finances. And you have to be careful with hours that you work, the amount of money that you can make and things of that nature. And you got to let them know. So you can't get past that because then you'll be at worlds of trouble another type of way.
Correct.
You don't want that.
Correct.
So, and it's really hard, like, I'm single, I for the most part, I'm single,
Same.
and I have to be careful with my wording. But for the most part, I am single. And, when you have to just do all these things yourself, you have to pay your own bills. You don't have any help. You're just strictly doing all this on your own.
Yeah.
And it's, you and I have talked about it, it's difficult, especially living, I'm in Dallas, big city.
Yeah.
You're in LA, big city.
Big city.
So, it's hard. And then how do you just kind of manage it all?
So normally when I'm working full time, like that is my job that covers all my expenses, gives me a little extra spending money, like a little bit. But then with reselling, in addition to my full time income, it was a way to help pay off student loans quicker. That was the reason I like went full force with reselling, to just have like to make extra money, but that extra money always went to the loans, student loans. Oh gosh.
Ugh.
Heart this video if you want to get rid of your student loans. Heart, tap, tap, tap that heart, okay?
Heart, 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 heart.
Oh,
Like
I hate
heart,
student
heart,
loans.
heart, 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 heart.
But
And I'm still and I'm still in school. So
it's
heart, 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 heart.
it's tough. I mean, like you said, I live in a big city. I live in one of the most populated cities in the entire country. And before this, I lived in New York. So like I've always known big city, but with big
Right.
city comes big costs. And as a single person, and this is part of the reason I won't go full time reselling, is because the amount that I would have to pump out, like the amount of listings, and I would never stop working. Like I'm sure there could be a certain point, but like as a one single person paying for all my bills, I have to hit like I've done the math. I would have to do like at least like 10 grand ish a month, knowing that taxes would get taken out, knowing that I would have to pay for health insurance, knowing that I would have to
Right.
pay for all my expenses. And it's like, am I happy doing that? No, I don't want to work myself to death.
Right. Nobody does.
So
Nobody does. I mean, and that's not what we're built for.
right,
You know,
right.
we're not built to do that, to just work ourselves, fingers to the bone.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not really what we're built to do.
exactly.
So, I mean, and it really is a tough situation. When you have to, I mean, because for me, I have a steady income, but reselling, I actually kind of felt how I fell into it, of course, but it really allowed me to pay off some debts that I had, which hallelujah, I was happy to complete.
Yeah.
But the student loan is still hanging over my head.
Can I tell you something? So when I was working a couple years ago for a different employer, I had a coworker, and she, for her 35th birthday, we were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Don't laugh, but I'm paying off my student loan. It's my last payment." And I was like, we were all like, "That's major. Celebrate."
Yes. I push up to anyone who pays off student loans
100%.
because, I mean, I try to go ahead and drop some interest. I've started doing that. I take out the least amount, send the rest of that back, and things like that. So I do, I've been really strategic with my student loans.
Yep.
I mean, not to say that they're teeny tiny, but they aren't what they could be.
Right.
Because, when you get happy and you want, oh, I want all that money.
Right. I'm pretty good with money. Like I've been pretty financially savvy for probably all my life. I have an uncle who works in finance, so I've always been told to be very smart and wise. And I will say, I don't follow like Dave Ramsey or anything like that. However, I do follow. I think this is something that he recommends: the envelope method.
Yes.
So basically, it's take out the cash, take out everything you need to spend and put it in envelopes, so that way you only spend what you tangibly have. And let me tell you something. Those coffees, those miscellaneous Target runs, that $3 whatever, that $10 sandwich, whatever it is, you will be shocked how much money you save.
Oh my God. And I believe that Nikki, Glow Girl Glow, uses that same system. I mean, she has her own budget budget planner that you can actually, download. Yeah. But I tell you that she uses that same method. And I'm just like, oh my God, I need to try that. But I did curb my Starbucks. I do my own Starbucks at home now. I go every now and then and get a little frap. But really, for me, I just do it. Hey, Leslie. Thanks for joining. I just do it, at home, because I really noticed when I started doing it at home that I saved a lot of money.
Well, think about it. People like coffee is like the one thing people point out because it's the easiest thing to like how much stuff worth the money. I bought 2 pounds of ground coffee, right? I do cold brew. So that is like 4 rounds of cold brew, but each round of cold brew is like 8 glasses. When you
Mm-hmm.
go to and that costs $7, $8, $10. When you go to Starbucks, you get one drink for here in LA, could be $5. So you get
Well,
two
yeah, here
drinks
too.
instead of like a month's worth of drinks. So it's
Right.
like,
Well, I had before I moved, I have a whole coffee station where I could have hot or cold, all that. I loved it, And again, then I would treat myself to Starbucks every now and then as well.
yeah,
But you know, um, when I moved, I started going to Starbucks, because my friends wanted, oh yeah, let's go, let's
yeah,
go, let's go.
yeah,
But after a while, I started thinking, wait a minute. I need to cut down on that. And not just for the money wise, but calories.
yeah, yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
wait. Tie dye designs just said something. Honestly, it's such a vibe. Okay, I don't disagree with you, especially when I lived in New York. When you would go to work, it's like you want that Starbucks. Like
Yes.
you want this visual of like I spent the $4 or $5.
Right.
And today, hello Mickle Pickle, she wants to meet. Welcome to the community. Um, it's like today I do treat myself to a Starbucks, and I have to remember that it is a treat because there is some
Mm-hmm.
mentality that like if you get a Starbucks you're like living life. Ooh.
Right.
And it's like you overpaid for coffee, go home, bitch. Bad word, sorry.
Well, I get you though. Yeah. I get you. you know but I mean, I was the same. I was just like, I've got to, cut some corners, and
Yeah,
that was really the thing for me, is that I was wanting to, make sure I had enough money to move from this place to my own place.
yeah,
So I started cutting corners. I mean, cutting corners meant I'm not paying for all these streaming services going on. I'm not, doing this, that. I had to cut the cords on some things,
yeah,
stop going to Starbucks all the time.
yeah,
And I really could tell a difference, because actually that money that I saved, that helped me pay off another debt.
yeah.
So, I mean, it's just amazing what you can do. Ooh, coffee subscriptions. Wait a minute.
Hi
I'm
Salt.
like, let me go back.
Wait, also I meant to say hi to Nick earlier.
Oh,
I wanted to
oh,
say
hey,
hi when you said your name is Nick Blue for that reason. Hello, welcome.
hey,
Um,
Nick Blue Sky 22.
I was gonna
Last
tell you
time I
something.
went to Starbucks, it was like that's 10 yes, I'm gonna tell you.
Wait,
It's crazy.
Glow Girl buys personal bottles from Walmart and add it into the grocery. Like, Nick
Oh,
can't
well,
do that.
that's what I got. I buy the big bottles of
Yeah,
the
so you can get
medium
like a couple
coffee.
drinks. That's
Yes.
better than that's so
So, and I
badass.
actually, if I buy two at a time, that'll last me for a minute, because I only drink coffee like once a day.
Yeah, I could do it twice, but I actually have tried to stop drinking coffee after 12. Not that I've had issues with caffeine, but caffeine can change your body,
Mm-hmm.
especially like so. Don't drink it right before
Yeah.
you go to bed.
Right. Right. I love the mocha frappuccino. I can't wait to get my gift card. I won from a reseller's passion. I know.
Cool. So
I'm
we're
just kind
winning.
of feeling some type of way. I need a gift card. No, never mind. But with all the saving of money and things that we do to cut corners and things like that, um, I just think that everyone, I mean, of course, everyone has to find what works for them. But I know for me, I just, you know, reselling has afforded me a lot, a lot. It's given me this platform,
Yeah,
was created from that Brunch with Diva, and I just want to use my platform um, to to just speak on different, areas that I'm interested in. And I know that you do the same thing.
yeah,
It doesn't always have to be about reselling.
correct. I am
You know,
so
when
much more. I'm so much more.
so much more than just a reseller. And I think that actually Leslie was the one that I heard say that, and I was thinking, and that made me think, because I'm like, well, that is so true.
Yeah,
I'm not just a reseller.
yeah.
I have other things going on.
Les-
So, I know that you do that with your content.
yeah. And
And
Leslie and I talk about it all the time. It's like we are so much more. Also, like I can only talk about reselling so much because it's like there's a limit. Like it doesn't just continue forever. Like information wise. You know, it's perspectives that keeps, you know, reselling interesting, I think. But it's, you know, it's like get the thing, sell the thing, ship the thing. Like that's basically the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm sorry.
I
But
think it's good for us. I mean, I've only been reselling a year, really.
yeah.
But even in that length of time, hey, Terry, thanks for joining the conversation. Hey, Carla, thanks for joining. I
Hey.
have just created a whole plan in my head where, yes, it's reselling. Yes, I love to share tips if I have any things that work for me, things that I found interesting, you know, whatever the case may be. I think that we still should do that. But I also think that it's okay to show another side,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and that's where, for me, that's where Reels comes in. And things of that nature. And
Yeah.
I know that, you know, you have your TikTok, you have your YouTube, and, you know, just content. I mean, people just, how do, how do you just come up with it? I mean, sometimes I just come off the top of my head.
Listen, I think, well, so something, let's talk about social media for a second, because I think Reels and TikTok present day have kind of blurred the lines as to what is appropriate to put out for social media.
Mhm.
Because, and I say this because I grew up and I graduated college in 2011. That was the time when you were like, make sure your social media is clean, make sure you are not acting a fool online, make sure everything is
Right.
cut, you know, no crazy photos, no nothing. And now it's like you can go viral and potentially like quit your job if you have a viral TikTok. So like, you know, people are just letting themselves have a little bit more fun, be more free thinking. That doesn't always work, especially if it's like a particular opinion that, you know, might not sit well with society. But for the most part, I think Reels and TikTok are like a way to have fun and to create that content. I try to like, I don't force it. If I'm not feeling it, it doesn't feel authentic. But if I find something and I'm like, oh wait, this would be good, I can do something with this, that's when I create
Right.
something. So I don't
Right.
always have the content, but I also want it to be authentic.
Yeah, and I think that that's really important too. Let me, Leslie says, let's not have a reseller identity crisis. I'm Leslie and I sell clothes sometimes. I'm so much more than that title. And that is so true. I
Yep.
mean, I think that, you know, when you're starting out, or I'll speak on my behalf, when I started out, then I was all like, reseller, 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 you know, because I was just getting into it. I was thoroughly excited about it. I just wanted to pump it out, pump it out, pump it out, pump it out, reseller, reseller, because why? Because I thought that's what I should do.
Yeah. Yep.
But as time has gone, you know, gone on, I mean, I think I've evolved into who I am right now and who I'm on the road to continue to be.
Yep.
You know, I think that we all grow, you know, and find our niche, not just with selling clothes, but just what we want to use our platform for.
Yeah. And I think it's important, although, you know, it's like a lot more acceptable to be more fun and like willy-nilly. Just remember, like, there are consequences for what you put out on the internet, and
Yes, yes,
there can be dire consequences. You could lose your job, you could be like
yes.
ostracized from society,
Hmm.
you know. So, you know,
I
just be
tell people all
mindful.
the time, I'm 60. I'm so glad that there was no internet back when I was just.
I mean,
Oh, because
could
I
you
probably would have.
imagine could you imagine going to school right now thinking like some kid with their phone could record you without you knowing, and they shouldn't have done that, and it could be a legal thing, and then that video goes viral and you're the kid that person photoed?
I
Excuse
could
me?
not imagine it.
You are like not in control of your own privacy anymore, and that bothers me
Mm-mm.
a lot.
Yeah, that's just. Yeah, I'm not. I couldn't be. I mean, I'm thankful I'm at the place where I'm at because this generation and all everything, you know, is so attached to some sort of device.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you've got, it's like sometimes I think that even kids feel, and maybe some adults feel the pressure to have to do, have to do, have to do.
Exactly.
And I don't ever want to be in that position. I do stuff, you know, reels and stuff like that when it pops up off the top of my head. Margaret says, LOL, yep, in college I learned to delete all of my videos from high school, dancing to Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy.
Girl, you shouldn't have deleted that.
Oh my
I wanted to
gosh.
see that.
It's nuts.
I would have loved to see that.
Margaret also said, make sure whatever you're posting is coming from the best version of yourself. Absolutely. People appreciate that I am quite vulnerable and transparent. Like, not everyone's comfortable doing that, and I don't share everything, obviously, but this is my theory about it. I'm choosing to put information out on the internet about myself and about what I do. If I lie, then I have to start like thinking and like keeping track of that. And
right. Trying to write this lie down. Now I told this lie on this
right
on this day.
If you're just your authentic self and speak from your heart, you have nothing to hide from.
Yeah, you have nothing to worry about. And what you see is what you get right here with me. I mean, of course, all of us have things that we, just don't put out there. But when I come here for Brunch with Diva, this is me. This is Rhonda. I mean, when I post, I really try to be intentional about what I post. And then some days I just want to post a silly game for people to play, but that's still me. I love that kind of stuff. So I just think that you have to just keep it real. I think people know when you are not keeping it real.
Yeah. And for me,
and don't be worried about everybody else, honey. Like I posted today, if it doesn't involve me, it doesn't involve me.
Right.
I mean, I can't worry about everybody else and stacks and all that, all smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
The reseller people are so cool, and it's almost like a big family. Oh, thanks, Nick Blue Sky 22. Oh yeah, I look like I'm in my 30s. Thank you, darling.
Yeah, Rhonda, when you told me your real age yesterday, I was like, she's lying.
And somebody told me I was lying. They were like, whatever, ma'am, 60, whatever, you're lying. Like, oh my God.
That's a great problem to have, though.
I love it. I love it. I'm just running through these real quick because I don't want us to miss anything. Oh my God. And then of course my nail is just hitting the thing. To be honest, kids are not developed enough to even make those large life decisions. You're correct, Swag Slayer.
100%.
I mean, they are not, and they just get put in positions, But while we were talking about content, this brought up something that yesterday I got an email. And it said that someone reposted something they bought from you. And I was like, oh, okay, Yeah. Girl, once it leaves me, honey, you do what you want to.
Right.
So I continued to read, and it said, well, so now this person can use your pictures and of course give you credit.
Yeah.
So
it's like,
then
I think it has to, like, if they use I think it's like an automatic thing. I haven't reposhed, but like, part of the reposhing is that it credits your closet automatically if they use your info.
Well, my thing is this. I don't know how I feel about that. And, I put it out there and just kind of got some feedback from the community.
Yeah.
And, some people were like, oh, I turned that off because I work hard for my pictures and, setting the stage for them and all this. And, if they want to use it, maybe they should just ask.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, okay, I can see that side of it. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, in theory, like, I had something similar, like, last week, I think. I got the email, which I was like, I don't need this email. Stop clogging my inbox. But I got the email, and it was like, okay, this person can reposh. And it's like, I had to look for the listing, because I was like, I sold this a long time ago.
Yeah, I did.
It was brand new. I sold it in May, and I'm like, okay, so if the person wore it, they can't use my pictures anymore because I sold something that was brand new. Right. So like what is the point of the reposh?
So yeah, I mean, now don't get me wrong. I think that if you buy something, you wear it, you decide you don't like it, then go ahead and list it.
Yeah.
I think you should just list it. And maybe not so much reposh it. I mean, even though it's fine line for it to be kind of the same. But I don't think you should go under the guise of reposhing. I think you should just list it as a sell for yourself.
Right, right. Oh,
you know.
there's a garbage truck coming. Sorry, let me shut my window. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. You know, it's life. So
Leslie, Leslie said something that was really good. It's no different than using stock photos. No one asks for permission. And like, that might seem like, oh, well, it's, you know, it's not professional. That's Leslie's point is like very good. Like, no one asks to use the stock photo. So if they're not asking to use yours, why are you getting angry if someone uses your photo? If you are the person who also uses stock photos, it's, you know, it's like you're being taken from the same way you are taking from, you know, the company.
Yeah, I get that. And that too does make sense. You know, to be honest, I just wasn't sure that how I felt about it or anything like that. But that does make sense.
Right.
But I kind of start feeling like, ooh, is that an invasion? But then when you think about it, I mean, when you use stock photos, I mean, you don't call the company and say, hey, can I use that photo?
Right, right. Margaret says she has a dress she bought for me for a wedding that didn't happen and now it doesn't fit. Well, I give you permission, Margaret, because we're friendly. I give you permission to use my photos if you would like. Use the whole listing if you want.
Oh, thanks, Nick. 60 is the new 30. Yes, darling. Thank you so much. I'm here for it, Nick. I'm here for it. What ages surprised me, like Sandra, Rhonda, Leslie, Lizette. Oh, goals. Oh, girl. Thank you. It's so sweet. It puts your name on the list. Oh, it puts your name on the listing too, so it's super nice. And I think that's cool that it gives you credit.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. I think that that's really, really, that's the way it should be. If you use someone else's post, you should give them credit. If you use someone's picture, you should give them credit. Yeah. I think that that's just the way to go because, you know, in college, they call that plagiarism. Exactly. So, you know, there's that. I use stock photos, so I don't care if other people use my photos.
I don't think I've run into the issue of people using my photos.
No, and I haven't. Yeah. I think Punch is trying to offer it as a way to make buyers feel better about buying, letting them know if they don't like it, they can reposh it. And right. I got that. I think that's true. Yeah. I think that's discount deals for you says I don't care if they use my photos. If you can get it sold, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with reposhing my stuff. If you bought it from me and you decide you don't like it or you decide you can't wear it, honey, make that money. You know, I'm all for people making, you know, their coin.
Yep, 100%.
But, oh, wait a minute. I lost something. Oh, my God. Come on. See, this is why I need my tablet pulled up because trying to do it on here is crazy.
You know what? I wish there was a way to do Instagram Lives on the computer because I can't, like, check something or...
I mean, it's just so crazy. What? Who is
the golden
this?
hanger. It can get a little weird if you model your own photos though. If someone's using your photos and you're the model of that. Yeah. I mean, most people I would say don't use their face though. I would say a lot of times I see people who model like they'll do neck down. What's the one?
I think yeah, because I have a friend actually who models all of her own clothes. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see how she would feel about that. I'm gonna have to ask her that. What's the one thing you sold but wish you didn't let go? Oh, Blake, I'll let you answer that.
So I genuinely don't think I've ever sold something that I was like, oh, I wish I didn't sell it because I sell women's and I don't wear that. I do sell accessories and handbags, and of course there's like really good pieces and pieces of fashion that I love to give new homes, but I haven't yet done that. I have a Louis Vuitton piece that is brand new. It's limited edition. I bought it last year in Hawaii. It's very rare, and I have it listed. Well, it doesn't matter, but I have it listed on like a bunch of platforms, and it's stupid. It's a stupid price, but I'm like, I'm not letting it go right now. You know, it's like, I don't want to let that go. I think if I sold that and if I priced it to sell right now, I would not I'd get my money back, but I wouldn't get what I want from it.
Right.
And ultimately I want to use it, but it's just like, it's like a little too wide.
Well, and for me, I have a jacket now listed, and it took me forever to list it because I didn't want it. I wanted to keep it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, I need to list this jacket. And it stayed on my dress form for the longest. And every day I look at it and be like, oh. So I finally listed it, and people like it, like it, like it. I won't, and I won't send an offer.
Yeah. It's
Because I'm just like, I don't want you to leave me yet.
yeah, I will say
Yeah.
like, I mean, amongst my reseller friends, like it's 97% women. Everyone, you know, at some point has said like, oh, do you ever have like go buy something and then like you end up keeping it and not selling it? No. My answer is always no. That's never been my issue.
Right.
But I do sympathize because I could imagine going to find all this great stuff that you could potentially fit in.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, it would look so cute. It was only $4. Like, I get it.
And then with that particular one, I did kind of pay up a little bit for it. Not a lot, but just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still really want to make, as much as I can off of it. So I probably, of course, it's up a little higher, and then I'll negotiate eventually.
Yeah.
Leslie was, we were talking about lives. Blake, you can do Instagram lives with your StreamYard. Research that.
Oh, yes, I will. Thank you so much, Leslie. I'll make a note.
And a discount deals for you says, yes, I agree. They need to introduce Instagram lives from your PC and make it so we can check a message without exiting the chat. Yes.
Yeah. Or like, sometimes I want to show my phone, but I like can't.
Right. And yeah, I need to check that out too. I mean, because while we're just talking about streaming and YouTube and things, I just, I'm YouTube challenged. So once I learned how to take my IGs from, Instagram to YouTube, I got that now. So I've mastered that part. I mean, I really do. I mean, I really kind of want to, eventually do a live from my YouTube, but I keep hearing Leslie's voice in my head saying, IG lives, IG lives, IG lives. So, I just kind of stick with doing, as many IG lives as possible and just transferring them over.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I eventually want to go to the next step. But so how did you just start out that way?
So I've been on YouTube since 2014, like since it started kind of. 2014? Nope, said that wrong. 2004. Sorry, I was 14 in 2004. So I was on YouTube when it was starting to be a thing. Like when the first viral video was like the zoo, like me at the zoo or something like that. Like, I grew up with that, and I'm very tech savvy, and I was the first person to have a cell phone amongst my friends. Like it was like I love that stuff. That said, I've just been doing random videos like from then to now. A lot of it is hidden on my channel because, oh my God, I was young. But I should release them.
Now I want to see. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I should re-release them just to give a little TBT. But I had tried YouTube like a lot. I had tried YouTube and like tried to figure out a path. I think early YouTube, you kind of just like did whatever and like it got picked up. And like some of the people that are huge YouTubers today, not in the reselling world, just oh my gosh, like controversial, the Shane Dawsons or like Tyler Oakley's or like the makeup people. You didn't necessarily have to do one niche of video. You were just kind of, like bubbly on person. I remember there was a whole thing on like when you could start to vlog. And I think I think they called it there was a girl, her name is Justine. She goes by iJustine. She's a huge tech gal in YouTube right now and has been. I remember she was one of the first people that I think like documented her life and like before vlogging was like a thing. And so, flash forward to present day, I was like, let me just try talking about reselling. Like people seem to want to watch a haul, see what you bought. And I was like, what? And then I did it, and then it just stuck, and people seem to be interested in it. So it just happened. Now I'm integrating more like lifestyle content because, again, to our point before and to Leslie's point, I am more than reselling. So, you know, I can't, like, my personality needs to shine in all sorts of aspects of my life, not just reselling. And my reselling's like pulled back a little bit. I can only do so much with that. Like, actually nothing right now. So, you know, I'm exploring other avenues.
Yeah, and I think I think it's great. I mean, I think we all should kind of, you know, step outside our comfort zone and you know, try new things because really, I mean, isn't that what life's all about? Just trying new things. I mean, even if you fail, it's a teachable moment. You know what you did, you know what you need to correct. Maybe you need to whip it back around and try it again a different way.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think that that's awesome, and I think that that's what, you know, what we do daily. You know, is just try new things.
100%.
Leslie says she's YouTube challenged as well. She just, you know, she's faking it.
Fake it till you make it.
I mean, I just think that, you know, I think sometimes, you know, we just got to do what we got to do, basically.
Yeah.
And as long as it's gonna help you, fail forward. Yes, exactly.
And
I think
I think a big lesson I've learned from no one, just doing it. You have to start somewhere. Like, you cannot expect perfection or like short film quality videos out of the gate. Like, that's also like, that's not even some people's goals. Like, there are very successful people on YouTube that don't do that at all, you know? So it's
let
like,
me just tell you, I'm not one of those people who edit. And so, you know,
and that's okay.
I think,
that's okay.
yeah, I just don't. I mean, because I'm coming to you, here it is. I'm live. I'm coming to you as I am. I'm just putting it all out there.
Yeah.
So, you know, something something happens, be like, oops. Well, moving on.
Yeah.
You know, because that's just, you know, I just feel that that's the realness of me, and that's just what happened.
Yep.
You know, I don't want it to be. I don't think I want things for me to be so edited that I don't feel like when I look at it that it's genuinely me.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
for me, I mean, I do edit some stuff, but it's usually just like filler or like if I'm like looking down, not talking or something. But some people do the opposite. Some people edit themselves to be funny instead of just like, I mean, not everyone is funny. I find myself to be a funny person. I've done comedy, but I
find myself to be funny.
You know, it's different to be a stand-up comedian versus just being a funny everyday person. And I think if you are someone that is naturally funny and just like, I'm quick-witted, like I'm quick with my thoughts, so it's easy for me to like make something up. You don't need to edit so much, but not everyone is, you know, given that opportunity.
And I think that goes back to being, you know, authentic, because, you know, I'm just here it is, here I am, here we go. And I think that when you start just editing so much, then you kind of give people that, oh, it's perfect, you know.
And there's no right way. So
there is no right way. I mean, and whatever works for you is good.
Yep.
You know, because everybody's going to see it differently. Everybody's going to put the content out differently. But this flips me back around, speaking of content again, is that, you know, I had, you know, mentioned to you yesterday that there's been this thing that I've been seeing on Instagram about accounts who were larger. So I'm just like, okay, well, now I think the complaint is that larger accounts tend to only follow X amount of people. Like if you have X amount of numbers, then you are only following like 100 people,
right?
And you're not engaging. Well, for me, engagement is huge because I love, as you see, to talk. But I just love to engage with other people because, you know, I love meeting other people and seeing what's happening with you, what's going on with you. I like when people tag me and stuff that's going on. I love all of that. So, I mean, what do you think?
What do I think? Well, I did this. I did social media influencer relations specifically in my job that I am no longer doing, position eliminated. And basically, I think there's like, I don't want to say misinformation is being portrayed to people, but like people think that a following equals getting paid, right? And people feel entitled. They say, oh, I've got this many, I want money. It could be like, oh my God, I hit 1,000 followers. Give me free stuff. Give me money. Pay me. No. No, 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 no. Okay? First of all, influencer partnerships with a brand are valuable, and there's a lot behind it. There's metrics they can run that you don't know about, that anyone could run. You just have to pay for it. And at the end of the day, it's all about engagement. I don't care if you have 1 million followers. If only one person is liking your photo, oh, I'm not paying you $10,000. I'm not going to send you a free product. No. Engagement is key with your following on all platforms, whether it's comments, likes. Stories are more prominent than a post. If anything, posts hold more value, especially if you have a swipe up link. But I mean, there's so many factors. I thought about doing a course on this, because it's like, it just bothers me so much when people feel entitled to something that they actually have no idea how involved it is.
I mean, there's a lot to that. People check your engagement rates more than they check how many people are following you, because you could have 800 followers, but your engagement could be through the roof.
Correct. I mean,
So,
obviously, the bigger the following plus engagement, good engagement is great. Like, especially for bigger brands, like if LG wanted to advertise TVs or their latest washer and dryer, that's probably like a 200,000 plus kind of situation.
Right.
So it's I think for people who are just looking at numbers like that, don't focus on your engagement. You want to have organic, I hate saying that, but you want to have organic, natural, just because it happened, growth for your channels, or your mediums, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is. And you are not Beyonce, you are not Adele, you are not
I'm not.
You're not the royals. You don't have to follow everyone. And I think Beyonce follows 0 people. Adele follows 0 people. You are not world superstars. You're not worldly known. So it does look a little fishy if you're following no one. But I think also remember that person's account is that it's their account. So if they're only following a handful of people or a couple hundred people and they have thousands, they're controlling the content that they see. So I think that's important to remember, because being entertainment or being, someone who is talking publicly doesn't mean that they want to receive that information as well.
Right. Let me see. You had and Lizette says not everyone is doing it for engagement, so you have to follow people who you relate to. And that's true. Hey, Cynthia, and she actually had a question and said, how do you change your perspective about TikTok?
Well, what's your perspective about TikTok?
Yeah, we need to know that, Cynthia.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if, for me, TikTok really is, TikTok and Reels are just fun things for me. I don't, it's fun. It's just fun. It's another social media platform, but it's just fun for me. I don't really take myself seriously when I do Reels or I do TikTok, or place it on TikTok.
Yeah.
I just
have more fun.
Yeah, it's just got to all be fun for me.
Nikki
Tie-dye design says, do you have any tips to improve engagement?
Well, so we're going to get real with this conversation, okay?
Uh-oh, here we go, y'all.
You have to post what people want to see, right? If you're having a social media account and wanting to grow a social media account are 2 different things. If you want to grow a social media account, you want to cater your content to cater your content to be something that will be attractive to an audience, right? It doesn't need to be like everyone else's. It could be unique to you. But for example, if you are only posting pictures of clothes and there's no you, not everyone wants to follow an account just to see something that is going to be sold. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let me be clear when I say this. There's many different directions you can take your social media. If you want to sell your items, let's say if you're a small business and you want to sell your items, that's a different kind of like thought process when you're following someone. But if it's just like a random everyday reseller and you don't, have your personality per se on your page, and it's just, this is a pair of shoes, this is a pair of jeans, people are gonna not necessarily be interested in that. But if you start to post something, like maybe you're modeling the jeans, maybe, you're trying something new, like people want to follow things that they find interesting. And I want to be very clear again, I'm not kind of like dissing people that do that. Again, because if you're trying to sell something on Instagram, it's different than curating on Instagram. So if you're trying to be bubbly, like use my page for an example, right? I post like lifestyle shots, package pictures, me doing things, whatever it is. You can see my personality. I like to focus on my smile. It's the thing that people like. It's the thing that I love. It's my best favorite.
Right.
Thanks, Mom. Who I think is in the chat, by the way. You wanna put yourself out there. Ultimately, social media is connected to a person. So you need to be social. And listen, not everyone is. I think people see that like everyone's doing it. Listen, not everyone's doing it, and not everyone's doing it successfully. Okay. I'm not saying I'm like all-star social media person, but I just, having worked in it and know what it takes, like it doesn't necessarily happen overnight. Yes, you can go viral on TikTok. Yes, you can have something funny that happens, but like you want to have like your content to sustain. It can't just be a one-time thing. You can't just have one thing that lasts forever, right? Like if you've seen the viral TikTok of the guy on the skateboard with the cranberry juice, he cannot just do cranberry juice forever. Although it will be a joke and it will be funny and recognizable, he is smart to try to put that into different routes and try new things. Maybe it's a new juice. Maybe he does a certain thing for each holiday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he has to think about that long term. And so if you wanna pursue an Instagram account or growing your social media, it's very important to like curate your voice and put out content that people want to see.
And I think knowing your audience as well. Correct.
And maybe there's going to be a period of unknowing, like what works. Also, there's research, like look at your analytics. What is the best time to post? I think Nikki Glow Girl asked how often. There's no right or wrong answer. If you're Khloe Kardashian, posting 5 times a day is necessary, but it's all scheduled, I'm sure. If you're just, average person like us, you could post every day. You could post 5 times a day. I like to post 1 to 2 times a week on static, like on the feed, but I'll post my stories every day, 6 days a week, maybe.
And I think that using your stories right now is awesome. I think that, just from my research, it looks like that people are actually paying more attention to the stories. But then, because I've started putting more things into my stories. But again, it's trial and error because you want to know what to put in your stories.
Yeah. Yep.
What's going to, because sometimes I feel like, well, if I already posted it, do I need to add it to my story?
Yeah.
But then, maybe I do. I'm not sure. I'm just still kind of figuring it out.
I think it's important. You have to start somewhere. Again, back to like YouTube.
Oh, well, here we go.
You have to post at all.
The Sunflower Closet said, how do you know what to post? What strategies to use in order to be different? Oh, that's a great question.
Well,
that's a great question.
That's a great question, but it's also like a question that can't necessarily be answered, right?
Yeah, I think it's really up to you.
Social media is unique to every single person. Every individual is different. Like Rhonda's page is different than my page, you know, but they both work and they both have a distinct look. And like, we're two different people. Like, that's how it should be. You don't want to be someone else. Like, ugh.
This goes back to being your authentic self. You
Correct.
have to do what I feel like this is that I post the things that are important to me.
Correct.
And I think that would help the next person or give somebody some food for thought,
Yep.
make you laugh, or, you know, maybe a little helpful tip or whatever. Those are just the things that I go by when I post. And so, I mean, I do try to post, you know, I definitely always want to give people something to think about, because that's who I am. You know, I am that person to offer, you know, advice, or I'm that person to sit and listen. I'm that person to just come up with things to make you say,
Yeah.
You know, I'm uplifting. I try to be uplifting. I love pouring life into other people.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to do that, you know, even when I post. So I think that it's up to you and what you're feeling in your spirit, child.
Yeah. And Unequal Match, I'm blanking on your name right now. I'm so sorry, hon. She said it depending on your personality. Absolutely. Like, listen, not everyone is meant for social media. You can absolutely do social media, whoever you are. But like, sometimes like you might not be that interesting. Oh my gosh, not a mean statement. It's just like, you know, there's a reason certain people are on TV. We won't get into like the types of people on TV, but you know, it's like not everyone is interesting. Not in a rude way, just like, you know, some people live very simple lives. Like right now, my life is not exciting. It is quite boring, but I don't know. I think what sets me apart is, you know, I'm optimistic about my next steps. I am not woe is me, although I'm, you know, I reflect on what my circumstances are. I'm like, what is next? Like, the future is, you know, my oyster. So let's crack her open, find a pearl.
Right. And as far as posting, where I typically post 3 times a day. You know, every now and then I might go another one, but I typically post 3 times a day at different times. I post morning, mid-afternoon, and evening. And then I add to my stories, you know, maybe throughout the day or whatever. That's just something that, you know, I found that just works for me, but I think everyone is different. I think that whatever time, you know, and we're in different time zones. So it's going to be different for you, you know, but that's just like when it comes to sharing your closet, you know, it's different times throughout the day that you share. Some people share their closet. I share my closet, you know, so I can hit all the time zones.
Margaret, sorry, Rhonda. Margaret, the
No,
show
go
The
ahead.
Simple Life is literally not simple whatsoever. You know that.
Leslie said, Blake, your mom commented on our live from yesterday. Vicky is so sweet.
Oh, love it. Love her.
The Sunflower Closet 3 says, I post on stories all day, every day. I need to be more consistent on my feed to create more content.
Yeah. And also remember, we are just two perspectives, right? So, you know, like, again, there's no right way. You know, the questions are coming in and it's myself and Ron answering, but like, there are so many perspectives. I think Margaret said people live simple lives and people are interested in that too. Absolutely. But ultimately put yourself out there. If you're not putting yourself out there, don't question why no one's seeing it.
You got to show up every day. Yeah. I mean, I just tell you, I'm on here every single day. The only day that I just try to have a down day is on Sunday. And if I feel like it, I might post a little something. But this Sunday, I didn't post anything. I just took a break for that day because I just need a day to decompress, do a little homework, just kind of, you know, have that day to myself. Now I might answer questions or engage, but I don't necessarily post. I've decided that I just want to engage on Sundays.
Yeah.
And let me see.
I will also say, don't expect everyone, including your friends and family, to like be your audience. Oh, that's like, I learned that out the gate. Like, they are your friends, your family in life, and they can support you, but like, don't expect them or demand of them that they follow you and watch everything. Like, some people are just maybe not interested in that aspect of your life, and that is okay. There's plenty of people out there to find you, so just keep being you. doing your
Yeah.
thing.
So Sunflower Closet says, how did you get to the point where you started collaborating with other posters and featuring on podcasts? What was the journey like getting there?
What's a poster? Like someone who posts content?
Yeah.
Gotcha. How did that happen? I don't know. I don't remember. I know it helped that I met people in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like genuinely, I had met Courtney Common Tags in person. Did we meet at the bins? We met on social media, maybe from YouTube or something. And then we set a date to meet at the bins. And then from there, I was able to meet Tiffany and Hugo. And then we just stayed in touch. And, you know, it was when we could do things together in the wild. So just, I guess, like, it really just came from, like, making friends. You know?
And I think that, you know, sometimes we have positioned ourselves in a certain space and, you know, opportunities arise. Sometimes it's all about positioning yourself if that's something that you're interested in doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
and
I think that
it's okay to ask people too. Like if you see a podcast or you see someone does a consistent like Brunch with Diva, you want to be on Brunch with Diva? Talk to Diva. Like
talk to Diva, honey.
You know, it doesn't hurt to ask, but also just remember they have their own rhyme and reason how they run their programs. So like don't get upset if they don't answer, they don't choose you. Like, you know, it just depends. Just depends. But it doesn't hurt to ask. You can't have what you don't ask for.
Right. A closed mouth don't get fed, honey.
Correct. And my friend El Ducho Thrift, Denali, always says that. You can't get the thing you don't ask for.
Yeah, exactly. Lady Hustle 1920 says, if you have to say one word to your audience for encouraging, what would that one word be? I love it.
I have to do two because it's two different things. But I would say authenticity and consistency.
Yes, the two key ones. Two keywords.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, I think those two words are hugely important because as I said, you know, as I said before, you got to keep showing up on a consistent basis, you know, and I think that the thing is kind of like that, that thing about 21 days, you formed a certain habit. You kind of got to keep doing it, got to keep doing it, got to keep doing. And I think that the more that you go and the more that you post and the more you use your stories and the more you're there and people know that you're going to post, they know you're going to show up, you know, that's how you kind of develop your community.
Yep. Exactly.
You know, I mean, we're all one big community, but we all have our individual peoples. We got our own peoples.
Yep.
You know,
100%.
and sometimes those peoples blend together.
Yep.
You know, and I think that, you know, oh yes, consistently really is key and reaps results. Yes.
Yep. And I will say something else. If you are trying to create content, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is, it's okay to get inspiration. It's okay to like see what's out there.
Yes.
But don't spend your time. Like red alert flag. Hope you're listening. Look at your phone if this is down. Like attention. Do not spend your time consuming the content. Spend your time creating the content. Because if you only consume, you will never, it will take you a longer time and you will start to think in your mind, oh, I should do this, good idea. And then you click that next video and then you're like, oh, maybe that. And then you never do anything. So consume the content in moderation, curate the content if that is your goal.
Yes. That, I mean, you can't say it any better than that because I think that's true. You can just get so wrapped up in all the content that, you know, you just, you know, I mean, your mind is like, so, I mean, I look at other people's content all the time, but you know what? The content that I create that I get from people are basically through conversations. Yep. It's not so much of anything that goes on YouTube, you know, or funny, you know. I get, my brain gets stimulated through conversations. 100%. And so sometimes people can say things and I'm like, oh, that deserves a post. Let me talk about that. I have a couple of things written down now
Yep.
that someone has said just through us engaging in conversation that I thought that's a good post. I'm going to talk about that. Sunflower Closet 3 says, where did your passion for resale start at, and what moment did you know you wanted to do it full time? First of all, he does not do it full time. He does not want to do it full time.
Correct.
So.
I am part-time. When did I start reselling though? I started reselling like when I was a young teen, like circa 2004 when YouTube was happening. That's when cell phones were created, like were coming out. And so I always wanted the latest one. So flipping one on eBay was a way for me to do that. So I've been like unknowingly reselling for quite a long time, but I seriously started doing like Poshmark and everything June 2018. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, we have just had a whirlwind conversation about everything. I still think if we could go on, we would go on.
I know.
But,
I have to get my flu shot.
But before the clock starts timing me out,
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Blake, so much for coming on and having brunch with Diva.
Thank you so much for having me, Rhonda.
Yes. Oh my God. I just, hold on. Cheers. And oh my God, I just want to keep talking to you. So, we'll have to chat.
We could talk forever.
Oh, no, right? So, thank you to everyone who joined the conversation today. If you have not followed Blake, follow Blake.
Yes, follow me, poshbossblake on Instagram and everything. Heart the video before you leave. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you all. I just want to say, I appreciate each and everyone who shows up to Brunch with Diva.
Yes,
I appreciate all of my engagement that you guys give me on Instagram. And I love engaging with you guys. I love when you tag me in things. So know that I'm also appreciative of it all, because I tell you, it does my soul good. Y'all just don't know. Hey, Deanna. Deanna, you miss Blake. You're going to have to watch the
replay. Catch the replay.
Yeah, catch the replay. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Blake, thank you again. And I'll be in touch with you really soon.
Yes, lovely. Have a great day, everyone. Bye, Rhonda.
Bye-bye.